My name is Elena Marquez, and for most of my adult life, I believed that if I could just write clean enough code, plan meticulously enough sprints, and anticipate every possible edge case, the rest of existence would fall into predictable, debuggable patterns. At 39, standing on the balcony of my Turtle Rock condo in Irvine with the Pacific barely visible as a silver line beyond the hills, I still half believed it. That morning in late winter 2023, the air carried the faint metallic tang of impending rain, the kind that would turn the 405 into a parking lot and make every Zoom call feel like punishment. I sipped an oat milk latte, extra hot, 1 pump vanilla, from the coffee bean down on Jamboree Road and stared at my phone. A Hinge notification glowed. Ryan C. sent you a message. I almost swiped it away. Dating apps had become another task on my endless to-do list. Open, scroll, match, exchange 3 polite messages, ghost or get ghosted, repeat. But something about his profile photo, a candid shot of him on a trail in Laguna Canyon, mid-stride, sun behind him turning his hair gold, made me pause. No gym mirror flex, no group shot with bros, no sunglasses hiding his eyes. Just a man who looked like he actually hiked instead of posting about it for clout. His opener, your bio says you hate small talk, so let's skip it. What's the one project you're most proud of in your career so far? I stared at the screen for a full minute. Most guys led with, hey beautiful, or a lazy emoji. This felt like someone had read the fine print of who I was and responded in kind. I typed back, the supply chain visibility dashboard we rolled out last year saved our biggest client 18% on logistics delays. Yours? His reply came in under 2 minutes. Helping a mid-size e-commerce brand reroute their entire fulfillment network during the 2021 port backups. Chaos to order in 6 weeks. What tech stack did you use for the dashboard? We messaged for 40 minutes straight. PostgreSQL versus Snowflake debate, the horror of legacy COBOL integrations, favorite error handling patterns. By the time I had to jump on a stand-up, I realized I hadn't checked the clock once. Our first date was 2 weeks later, mid-pandemic spring, when outdoor-only rules still applied. Crystal Cove State Park, the stretch of beach where tide pools glint like broken glass under the sun. I wore leggings, a lightweight Patagonia fleece, and the kind of cautious hope you carry after a divorce. He showed up in hiking boots and a navy quarter zip, carrying 2 iced coffees from 7-Eleven because I didn't want to assume your order. We walked the bluff trail, waves crashing below us, pelicans skimming the surface. I told him about the botched release that had cost my team 3 all-nighters the month before, how the staging environment didn't mirror production, how alerts fired at 3 a.m., how I'd stood in the parking lot of the Irvine Spectrum at dawn, crying into my cold coffee while the build failed for the 17th time. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he said simply, "Sounds brutal. What if you'd containerized the test suite earlier? Docker Compose could have caught the ENV mismatch." I laughed, genuine, surprised. "You're troubleshooting my post-mortem." "Habit," he said, shrugging. "I fix things for a living." We talked until the sun dipped low enough to paint the cliffs orange. No awkward silences, no forced flirting, just 2 people who spoke the same language. Problems, solutions, iteration. That night, I texted Mia. "Met someone. Not sure yet, but maybe." Her reply was instant. "Details, now." Mia Reyes had been my constant since 2002 when we were assigned as roommates in Hedrick Hall at UCLA. I was the anxious overachiever from Santa Ana, first in my family to go to college, terrified of failing and proving everyone right that people like us don't belong here. She was the fearless one from Fresno, loud laugh, zero filter, the girl who'd talk back to professors and charm her way into sold-out concerts. We were opposites in temperament, but identical in hunger. Both daughters of immigrants, her from Jalisco, mine from Michoacan, both on financial aid, both determined to outrun the statistics. Freshman year, we survived on top ramen, library all-nighters, and mutual delusion that we could major in computer science without losing our minds. Sophomore year, we moved off campus to a roach-infested one-bedroom on Weyburn Place, splitting rent and secrets. Junior year, I started dating Alex. Senior year, mom's cancer diagnosis hit. Stage 3, ovarian cancer. Mia drove me to every chemo appointment at Cedars-Sinai, sat in waiting rooms with me for hours, brought me tamales from her tia when I couldn't eat hospital food. When mom passed 6 months after graduation, Mia slept on my couch for 3 weeks straight. She didn't say much, just made coffee in the mornings and held me when the sobs came without warning. After UCLA, she pivoted to marketing, content strategy for a fintech startup in Costa Rica that eventually got acquired. I stayed in the trenches, junior developer to project coordinator to senior PM at TechFlow Solutions, a mid-tier SaaS company headquartered in a glass building off Von Carmen Avenue. We saw each other at least twice a month, brunch at the Deck in Laguna, yoga classes in Newport, wine nights at her place where we dissected our dating disasters like failed test cases. When I told him about Ryan, she demanded photos. I sent the one I'd sneaked during our hike, him laughing at something I'd said, wind in his hair. Her response? Okay, he's hot in that quiet way. Proceed with caution, but proceed. We dated steadily through the summer of 2021. No grand gestures, no helicopter rides over the coast, no reservations at Nobu. Instead, sunset picnics at Hazler Park, drives up Pacific Coast Highway with windows down and Fleet Foxes playing, quiet dinners at hole-in-the-wall spots in Tustin where the salsa burned just right. He met my brothers at a family carne asada in Santa Ana, Marco, the firefighter, Javier, the mechanic. They grilled him, literally and figuratively. Ryan held his own, asked about firehouse shifts, swapped stories about busted transmissions. Marco pulled me aside later. He seems solid, sis. Not flashy. That's good. Ryan's background emerged in pieces. Grew up in Sacramento, parents divorced when he was 12. Dad was an engineer at Intel, mom taught middle school math. He went to UC Davis for industrial engineering, bounced around consulting firms before landing freelance gigs optimizing supply chains for e-commerce brands. It's 80% spreadsheets, 20% panic, he joked. He traveled a lot, San Diego, LA, sometimes Vegas for conferences, but always texted when he landed, always called to say goodnight. Sex was comfortable from the start, not fireworks, but attentive. He noticed what made me tense, what relaxed me. Missionary mostly, slow, eye contact that felt intimate rather than performative. Afterward, we'd lie tangled in his sheets, high thread count because of course, talking about nothing and everything. One night he traced the scar on my left hip, appendectomy at 16, and asked, "Any stories behind this?" "Just bad high school Mexican food," I said. He kissed it. "I like your scars." Small gestures like that accumulated. He remembered I hated coriander, genetic, thanks to my mom's side, brought me ibuprofen when my period hit, sent memes at 2 a.m. when I was still debugging a release, a cartoon of a developer crying over error logs captioned, "Me at 3:17 a.m." By fall, we were spending 3-4 nights together. He left a toothbrush at my place. I kept a charger at his. We talked vaguely about the future. Maybe a bigger place in Newport, maybe travel once work calmed down. No pressure, no timelines, just momentum. Then came the night I decided to introduce him to Mia properly. We chose Trattoria Contadina in Costa Mesa, old-school Italian, red checkered tablecloths, candles that dripped wax in slow stalactites onto the bottles, the kind of place that feels like a time capsule from when Orange County still had pockets of authenticity before everything became overpriced and Instagrammed. Mia arrived first as always. Emerald drop earrings, black dress that hugged her curves, hair in loose waves. She hugged me tight. "You're glowing. Is this love or just good lighting?" I admitted, both. Ryan walked in 5 minutes later, navy blazer, white button-down, no tie. He kissed my cheek, then turned to Mia. She extended her hand, then pulled him into a hug instead, held it a beat longer than necessary. "I've heard so much about you," she said, eyes blank, "the legend himself." He smiled, polite, measured. All good things, I hope. We ordered bruschetta, pasta alfredo for me, carbonara for him, risotto for Mia. Chianti flowed. Conversations started easy. UCLA stories, the time Mia and I got lost on the 101 trying to find a concert, Ryan's disastrous attempt at surfing in Huntington Beach. Mia leaned forward. So, supply chain optimization. Sounds intense. What does a typical day look like? He shrugged. Meetings with clients, data analysis, proposing reroutes, a lot of Excel, and even more coffee. Travel a lot? Enough. San Diego, LA, sometimes Vegas for conferences. She nodded slowly. Must be hard to build something steady with all that movement. He met her gaze evenly. I make it work. The rest of dinner passed smoothly. Laughter, shared plates, the waiter refilling wine without asking. When Mia excused herself to the restroom, Ryan leaned toward me. She's intense. I laughed. Protective, like a really good antivirus. He nodded, but his jaw tightened, just a flicker. I get it. She's family to you. She is. When Mia returned, the mood stayed light. We split tiramisu, hugs goodbye in the parking lot. Ryan and I drove back to my place in his Tesla, windows cracked, ocean air mixing with the new car's smell. That went well, I said. Yeah, he replied. She cares about you a lot. I didn't catch the subtext then. Didn't notice how his fingers drummed the steering wheel a little faster than usual. Months passed. Winter 2022 into spring 2023. Work at TechFlow ramped up. We were launching a major AI-driven analytics module. My days were wall to wall. 9 a.m. stand-ups, backlog grooming, risk mitigation meetings, vendor syncs with teams in India that ran past midnight my time. Ryan's travel picked up too. More client fires in San Diego. He'd text apologies. Landed late. Miss you. I'd reply with heart emojis and keep coding. We talked about moving in together casually. Your place has better light, he said one morning over coffee. Mine has better parking. I laughed. Romantic. But we didn't rush. I liked my independence. The quiet condo, the balcony where I could watch planes descending toward John Wayne Airport, the space that was mine after years of compromise. Then came the evening on his balcony. Late May 2023. Sunset bleeding pink and gold across Newport Harbor. Yachts bobbed below like toys. He poured 2 glasses of Sauvignon Blanc, handed me one, then pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. No kneeling, no speech memorized for movies, just him sliding a platinum band with a single emerald across the teak table. It reminded me of your eyes when you're focused, deep green, unreadable until you decide to let someone in. Tears came fast, happy, surprised. I slipped it on. Perfect fit. Yes, I whispered. He kissed me slow, ocean breeze tangling our hair. I called Mia first. She screamed so loud the line distorted. Elena! Oh my God! I knew it. I knew he was the one. You did? From that first dinner, the way he looked at you like you were the only variable that mattered. We talked for an hour. Venue ideas, dress shopping, guest list panic. She cried, I cried. It felt like the final commit after years of debugging my own heart. That night, lying next to Ryan, his arm heavy across my waist, I stared at the ring catching moonlight and thought, this is it. The stable build. No more rollbacks. I had no idea the entire repository was already corrupted. Chapter 2. The Proposal Query. The ring sat on my finger like a perfectly executed commit. Clean, intentional, no merge conflicts in sight. The emerald caught every stray beam of light in my Turtle Rock condo as I made coffee the morning after the proposal. It was early June 2023, the kind of Orange County morning where the marine layer burns off by 9 a.m. and the sky turns that impossible Instagram blue. I stared at my hand while the Nespresso machine hissed. 39 years old, second engagement, first one that didn't feel like I was signing up for a lifetime of debugging someone else's emotional bugs. I texted Mia a close-up photo of the ring on my finger, balcony view blurred in the background. Her reply came in seconds. Holy shit, that emerald is insane. When? How? Details now. We scheduled an emergency brunch on Saturday at the deck in Laguna Beach, our spot since college, the one with the wooden deck hanging over the sand where you can hear the waves slap the pilings while you eat avocado toast that costs more than it should. I arrived early, claiming the corner table with the best ocean view. The air smelled of salt, sunscreen, and fried plantains from the Cuban place next door. Tourists snapped photos of the coastline. Locals walked dogs in Lululemon. Normal Saturday. Mia showed up at 11:02, her hair in a messy top knot, oversized sunglasses pushed up on her head, wearing white linen shorts and a cropped tank that said "Manifesting" in gold foil. She spotted the ring from 10 feet away and shrieked loud enough to turn heads. "Elena Marquez, get over here!" She grabbed my hand before she even sat down, turning it this way and that like she was appraising a diamond at a pawn shop. "This is gorgeous. Not too big, not too flashy. Very you." He listened. I did. She dropped into the chair opposite me, flagged the server for 2 mimosas without asking, then leaned in. "Okay, walk me through it. Word for word, don't skip anything." I told her everything. The balcony at sunset, the way the yachts look like toys below us, the quiet way he slid the box across the table instead of dropping to one knee. "It reminded me of your eyes when you're focused, deep green, unreadable until you decide to let someone in," I quoted. Mia pressed both hands to her cheeks. "That's poetry. That's actual poetry. Alex proposed with, 'We've been together a while. Want to make it official?' Like he was renewing a gym membership." We both laughed. Old wounds, now just scar tissue. The mimosas arrived. We clinked. "To second chances," she said. "And better code reviews," I added. Planning exploded from there. I'd always pictured a Malibu wedding, something coastal, intimate, golden hour perfect. No 300-guest ballroom disaster like my first one, no ice sculptures or DJ playing Sweet Caroline, just ocean, sunset, people I actually liked. I started researching venues the next Monday during lunch. Google Maps, the mat, wedding wire, endless tabs open while I ate a sad desk salad. Most places in Malibu were booked years out or priced like small country GDPs. Then I found Cypress Sea Cove, a private Victorian estate perched on the cliffs between Paradise Cove and Point Dume. White tents allowed on the lawn, panoramic views from Catalina Island to the curve of Zuma Beach. Capacity for 100, but felt intimate. Photos showed barefoot ceremonies at dusk, string lights looping through eucalyptus trees, long farm tables under the stars. I booked a tour for the following weekend. Ryan came with me, rare for him to take a full Saturday off. We drove up PCH in his Tesla, windowed down, playlist shuffling between Phoebe Bridgers and the National. Traffic was light for once. The ocean glittered like shattered foil on our right. He held my hand over the gear shift most of the way. The estate was even better in person. Gravel driveway lined with olive trees, the main house painted soft sage with wraparound porches, lawn sloping gently toward the cliff edge. The coordinator, a cheerful woman named Claire in linen pants and a clipboard, walked us through every detail. Ceremony spot on the bluff, cocktail hour on the upper terrace, reception under sailcloth tents. "You can have fairy lights, Edison bulbs, or both," she said. "Most couples go both." Ryan listened quietly, nodding. When Claire asked about vibe, rustic elegance, modern coastal, he looked at me. "Coastal elegant," I said. "Barefoot if possible, sunset vows, no assigned seating drama." Claire smiled. "We can do that. Date?" "October," I said. "Maybe mid-month. Weather's usually perfect." We settled on October 14th, 2023. Deposit signed, contract emailed. It felt surreal. Real, but surreal. Like pushing code to production and watching the green checks roll in. Back in the car, Ryan kissed my knuckles. "It's going to be beautiful." It already is. Wedding planning became my second full-time job. Mornings, stand up at TechFlow, backlog grooming, risk logs. Afternoons, vendor emails between meetings, Evenings, Pinterest boards, vendor Zooms, spreadsheets tracking budgets. I built one in Google Sheets with conditional formatting, color-coded by status. Green for booked, yellow for pending, red for over budget. Dress shopping started early. I didn't want white poof or mermaid sparkle. I wanted something breezy, movement-friendly for barefoot grass. First stop, Panache Bridal in Laguna Beach, a boutique tucked behind Forest Avenue with exposed brick and racks of silk and tulle. Mia came with me. 3 Saturdays in a row we drove down, coffee in hand, playlists blasting. I tried on maybe 20 dresses, crepe, chiffon, lace overlays. The one that stuck was a simple A-line in ivory silk charmeuse, off-the-shoulder neckline, slight train that could be bustled for dancing. No beading, no heavy embroidery, just clean lines and flow. When I stepped out of the dressing room, Mia's eyes went glassy. "That's it," she whispered. "That's the one." I turned in the mirror. The fabric caught the light like water. I felt myself, not a bride's costume, just Elena, upgraded. We bought it. Alterations booked for August. Cake tastings next. Sweet Lady Jane and Dana Point, famous for their coconut cake, but we wanted options. We sampled 6 flavors: vanilla bean with passion fruit curd, chocolate with salted caramel, lemon raspberry, red velvet, carrot with cream cheese, and a coconut key lime that tasted like summer vacation. Ryan joined for that one. He ate each bite thoughtfully, then pointed to the lemon raspberry. "This one, bright, not too sweet, matches the coastal thing." Mia agreed, and it photographs well. Decision made. Tiered round cake, semi-naked frosting, fresh flowers on top. Florist, eucalyptus garlands, white roses, pale greenery, nothing fussy. Photographer, a woman from Huntington Beach who specialized in candid golden hour shots. DJ, low-key indie playlist guy, no MC yelling for bouquet tosses. Guest list hovered around 80. My side, brothers and their families, a few aunts and uncles from Santa Ana and Mexico via Zoom if they couldn't fly, college friends from UCLA. Ryan's side, parents, divorced, civil, sister from Sacramento, a handful of college buddies and work colleagues. No drama there, yet. Ryan stayed mostly hands-off on details. "Whatever makes you happy," he'd say, kissing my forehead before heading out for another client dinner in San Diego or a site visit that stretched overnight. His phone would sometimes go dark for hours. I'd text, "You okay?" He'd reply later, "Landed, battery died, miss you." I didn't push. After Alex, I'd promised myself no interrogations, no insecurity spirals, trust until evidence said otherwise. But Mia asked more questions. One Sunday afternoon in July, we met for iced matcha at a cafe in Laguna Niguel, ocean visible between buildings. She stirred her drink slowly. "Doesn't his vagueness ever bug you?" she asked. "All these trips, no real details." "He's in consulting," I said. "NDAs, client confidentiality, it's normal." She hummed. "Just be careful, babe. Tech-adjacent worlds are full of people who compartmentalize." Irritation flickered. "You're supposed to be excited, not playing devil's advocate." "I am excited. I'm also your best friend. Best friends notice things." I'd changed the subject to centerpieces, but her words lingered, like a warning banner in a log file you ignore because the build still passes. Rehearsal dinner planning started in August. We chose Malibu Farm, long tables on the pier, seafood-focused menu, sunset views. Toasts, casual speeches, Mia insisted on giving one. I've known her since we were idiots in UCLA dorms. She deserves someone who sees her the way I do, brilliant, kind, unstoppable. Ryan listened from the couch, smiling. "That's sweet." Mia looked at him. "She is sweet, don't forget it." He laughed lightly. I didn't catch the edge then. By September, the details locked in. Invitations sent, digital save-the-dates via paperless post, physical invites matte cream with gold foil waves, hotel blocks at nearby Malibu resorts for out-of-towners, bachelorette weekend in Temecula, wine tastings, spa day, no strippers, just us girls laughing until 2 a.m. Bachelor thing for Ryan, golf in Palm Springs with his buddies. He came back tanned, relaxed. October crept closer. Work at TechFlow hit peak chaos, final sprint for the AI analytics launch. I lived on caffeine and adrenaline, fielding 3 a.m. Slack pings from the India team, running load tests until my eyes burned. Ryan's travel ramped up. Big client fire in Chula Vista, he'd say, packing an overnight bag. I'd nod, kiss him goodbye, then collapse into bed alone. One night in early October, he came home late, 11:30 p.m. I was still at my desk reviewing burn-down charts. He kissed the top of my head. "Missed you," he murmured. "Missed you more." He showered while I wrapped up. When he came out in sweatpants, towel around his neck, he smelled faintly of unfamiliar cologne, something woody, expensive. "New scent?" I asked casually. Client gave samples at the meeting, thought I'd try it. I nodded, didn't think twice. The week before the wedding was a blur. Final fittings, dress perfect, hemmed exactly right, last vendor confirmations, packing for the venue stay. Mia and I did one last coffee run, Starbucks on PCH, sitting in her car watching surfers. "You nervous?" she asked. Excited nervous, not scared nervous. She reached over and squeezed my hand. "You deserve this, all of it." Her voice caught, just a fraction. I chalked it up to emotion. The night before we left for Malibu, Ryan and I sat on my balcony, stars faint above the light pollution, ocean a dark whisper beyond the hills. "Ready?" he asked. "Ready." He pulled me into his lap. "I love you, Elena, more than code loves clean architecture." I laughed. High praise. We kissed slow, salt air on our skin. I went to bed thinking, this is the final merge. No conflicts, green build. I had no idea the repository had been forked months ago, privately, silently, by people I trusted most. Bachelorette weekend arrived the last weekend of September, Temecula wine country. 3 of us in an Airbnb with a hot tub and vineyard views, me, Mia, and my cousin Sophia, who flew in from Austin. We did tastings at Wilson Creek, sparkling rosé flight, a spa day with massages that left us boneless, and a long dinner where we drank too much Cabernet and told stories until midnight. Mia raised her glass. "To Elena, may your marriage be as strong as your code and as beautiful as your heart." We clinked. Sophia added, "And may Ryan always remember to charge his phone." We laughed. I laughed hardest because it wasn't entirely a joke. Ryan's bachelor trip was the same weekend. Golf in Palm Springs with 3 buddies from Davis. He sent one photo, him on the 18th green, sunburnt nose, smiling. "Miss you already." I replied with a heart emoji and a selfie of me in a robe at the spa. "Miss you more." Rehearsal dinner was set for Friday, October 13th, at Malibu Farm on the pier. Long communal tables, ocean on 3 sides, menu of grilled fish, heirloom tomato salad, and lemon tart for dessert. Casual, linen shirts, sundresses, no ties required. The week before the wedding was controlled chaos. Monday, final vendor confirmations. Florist, photographer, DJ, cake, lighting crew, all green. Tuesday, pack. I had a suitcase for the venue stay, 2 nights in the bridal suite, another for the honeymoon, 5 days in a rented cottage in Big Sur, ocean view deck, no Wi-Fi, pure unplugging. Wednesday, last dress fitting. Rosa gave me a hug when I tried it on one final time. "You're ready, mija." Thursday, TechFlow half day. I logged off at noon, handed my on-call pager to a junior PM, and drove to Malibu with Mia in the passenger seat. We blasted a playlist of old UCLA dorm anthems. Outkast, No Doubt, early Beyoncé. Windows down, hair whipping, the kind of drive that makes you feel 18 again. We arrived at Cypress Sea Cove by 4 p.m. Claire met us at the gate. "Everything's on track," she said. "Tents up, chairs arranged, sound check tomorrow morning." I exhaled for what felt like the first time in months. Mia squeezed my arm. It's real now. Dinner that night was just the two of us. Takeout from Nobu Malibu, eaten on the suite's private patio. Sushi, sake, ocean dark and endless below us. You nervous? She asked. Excited, a little scared it won't be perfect. It will be, because it's you. She looked at me for a long moment, longer than usual. Something flickered in her eyes. Worry? Sadness? I couldn't read it. I asked, You okay? Perfect, she said quickly. Just emotional. My best friend's getting married. We hugged. She held on tight. Friday dawned clear. Rehearsal at 4 p.m., walkthrough of the ceremony flow, processional order, me with both brothers escorting since Dad wasn't around, vows exchange spot marked with a small bouquet, recessional path. Ryan arrived at 3:45 in khakis and white linen shirt. He kissed me hello, smelled like sunscreen and cedar. Looks amazing, he said, looking around. Claire ran us through timing. Sunset at 6:42 p.m., ceremony starts 6:15 sharp to catch golden hour. We practiced the kiss, chaste for rehearsal. Everyone laughed. Rehearsal dinner followed at Malibu Farm, tables set with white linens, low candles, wildflowers in mason jars. Guests mingled, my brothers cracking jokes with Ryan's sister, aunts taking selfies with the ocean backdrop, Mia circulating with her phone, capturing candids. Toasts started after the main course. Marco went first. Elena's always been the planner. When we were kids, she'd organize our backyard soccer games like FIFA tournaments. Ryan, good luck keeping up. Laughter. Then Ryan's sister. Ryan's quiet, but when he commits, he commits. Elena, welcome to the family. We're a little broken, but we love hard. Mia stood last. She cleared her throat. The pier lights reflected in her eyes. I've known Elena since we were terrified freshmen sharing a dorm room the size of a closet. She taught me how to study for finals, how to parallel park in Westwood, how to survive losing her mom without losing herself. She's the strongest person I know. Ryan, she paused, looked at him. You better see that every single day because she deserves someone who shows up every time. Her voice cracked on the last word. People awed. I teared up. Ryan stood, pulled her into a quick hug. I will, he said quietly. I believed him. The night ended with hugs, goodbyes, promises to see everyone tomorrow. Ryan and I drove back to the venue in separate cars, him to the groom's suite, me to the bridal one. Tradition. Mia walked me to my door. Last night as fiancée, she said. First night as almost wife. She hugged me again, long, tight. I love you. Love you more. She pulled back, eyes shining. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's your day. I went inside, hung the dress on the door, and stared at it glowing softly in the lamplight. Tomorrow. The build was complete. All tests passed. Deployment scheduled at 6:15 p.m. No bugs in sight. None I could see anyway. Chapter 4. The Ceremony Commit. October 14th, 2023. Bridal suite at Cypress Sea Cove. Ocean roar, eucalyptus scent. Mia arrived at 6:15 a.m. with lattes. Makeup artist blended, hairstylist curled. Women buzzed. Aunt pinning corsages, cousin snapping Insta stories. You okay? Mia asked, her eyes in the mirror. Can't believe it's real. Her smile careful, hands warm on my shoulders. You deserve this. She knelt for hem adjustments, hands trembling. Relax, I teased. Want it perfect. Coordinator knocked. Time. Mia fastened my necklace. You're strong. Remember that. Ceremony. Barefoot grass, sun setting rose gold, Ryan's hands warm. Vows. I promise to be your constant, your support. I do, steady. Guests beamed. Mia clapped, smile tight. Reception. Lights, clinking glasses, waves. Ryan whispered, "We did it." Mia hovered, handed champagne. "Marriage can feel like battle." "Dramatic," I laughed. Night ended in sweet. Ryan exhausted. Kiss, roll away. Normal, I thought. Chapter 5. Honeymoon phase. First week's adjustment. Ryan moved boxes into my Irvine condo. Turtle Rock, ocean view balcony. Rest later. Tech life resumed. Sprints, deadlines, Ryan's calls on patio, travel notices short, poor sleep, pacing. Mia checked in. "Treating you right?" "Of course." Pause. "Good." Unsettled. Crack. Hotel key card and blazer. Hilton San Diego pre-wedding. "Oh, that. Late meeting." Tone annoyed. Dropped it. Signs. Lipstick. Colleague hug. Flipped texts. New cologne. Gym excuses. Mia. "People aren't who we think." Telling me something? Worry. Chapter 6. The Debug Discovery. Insomniac night. Scrolling Ryan's Instagram. Woman liked old photo. At Mia.vvalencia. Cover. Ryan with her at sunset. Anniversary posts. Ring. Frozen. Explanation. Confronted. "I can explain." Bigamy? Penal Code 281. Felony. "It's complicated." Laughed bitter. "Illegal." Silence. Thought. Mia knew? Didn't sleep. Morning. Dig. Ryan left. Called Mia. "Hey, married lady." Mia Valencia, married to Ryan? Silence. "How long?" "Before you." "You knew?" "He said separated." "Enough to be maid of honor?" Sobs. "Loved him." "Did you love me?" "Didn't know how to stop." Hung. Hollow. Mirror. "I see you." Chapter 7. The Legal Loop. Gathered proof. Records, screenshots. CA bigamy voids marriage. Lawyer. In Newport. Annulment. Fraud. Never married. Stung. Freed. Ryan. Afraid losing you. Hurt everyone. No fixing. Mia. Meet at Zinc Cafe. Sorry. Watched me promise to lie. Thought protect. Erased me. What do you want? Tell the truth. Everyone, including first wife. Chapter 8. The Confrontation Commit. Week later. Encinitas condo. 3 on porch. Door. Hardened. Story spilled. Laughed broken. Knew off. Sorry. Cried. Fallout. Jobs dried up. Family distanced. Annulment. Never married. Relief. Photos down. Dress. Chapter 9. The Recovery Release. Silence heavy. Work. Meals. Showers. Therapy. BetterHelp Thursdays. Walks on Crystal Cove. Public. Reddit post exploded. Screenshots. Women. Similar. Podcast idea. Deferred dreams. Research. Unique angle. Betrayal in tech world. Hosting. Buzzsprout. DAW. Audacity. First episode. Anonymized. Went viral. TikTok pods. Fans. Courage. Ryan Mia blocked. Back at Tech Flow, the launch was a success, but the stress piled on. My team celebrated with happy hour at Habana in Costa Mesa. Cuban sandwiches, mojitos. To Elena, the PM who saved our asses, my boss toasted. I smiled, but inside, the marriage cracks were widening. Ryan's absences grew. Client in LA, he'd say, packing an overnight bag. I'd nod, but check his Instagram stories. Nothing. One night, I found a receipt for a dinner for 2 at Javier's in Newport. Business, he dismissed. Mia and I met for yoga at a studio in Laguna. Post-class, sweating, she said, "You look tired." Work, wedding planning hangover. Or something else. Stop. But her words echoed.